So the Twin Cities housing market just shifted. Inventory is rising, bidding wars are dropping, and more than half of the Twin Cities homes now sit for 25 days or longer actually on the market. So this shows that something big has just changed, or better yet, that the Twin Cities housing market just shifted. Today, I'm breaking down why the market suddenly feels different and how pricing is playing a bigger role than ever, and what smart buyers and sellers are doing right now. Basically, it's everything you need to know to make the smartest moves around here. So let's talk about what actually is happening with inventory across the metro, because this is really the foundation of everything else we're seeing. Active listings are actually going up with over 10,000 homes available as of mid-November 2025. Now that's still only 2.7 months supply across the metro, which is still far below the 5 to 6 months we would traditionally need to be in a balanced market. It's not a huge wave of homes, but here's what matters. It's enough to give buyers real choices for the first time really since the pandemic. And you can feel the difference. Those wild 2021 building wars, well, they're mostly over. Though we still see them pop up here and there in a few hot spots around the metro. Places like Edina, for instance, still have some of these bidding wars at any price point. What's really interesting is how this is playing out across different areas. Minneapolis and St. Paul have the longest days on the market in the metro, sitting at about 50 days, believe it or not. Meanwhile, suburbs with top-rated schools like Edina, Eden Prairie, and Wayzata are still moving faster, with ready move-in homes selling in under 30 days, believe it or not. When you break it down by property type, single-family homes have 2.5 months supply, townhomes have about 3 months supply, and condos have around a 5-month supply, making condos actually the softest market in the Twin Cities. We went from selling homes in a few hours to selling homes in days, and honestly, that is a huge, healthy change for the entire real estate market. But here's the thing, inventory is just the surface level. There are some big forces underneath that are actually really reshaping how the market works. And if you're trying to make a move right now, you need to understand what's creating all this pressure. Before we go deeper though, if you're trying to time your buy-sell decision in this exact market, I help clients deal with these pressure points every single day across the Twin Cities. If you're wondering if now is the right time or how you set yourself up against builder incentives, I can give you real numbers for your situation. My contact info is in the description below. So let's get into what's actually driving all of these changes. Higher interest rates are sitting at around 6.3% for a 30-year fixed mortgage. And before you panic, remember that the 50-year average is actually 7.25%. So mid-sixes, it's actually not that bad. It's still better than that 7.25% 50-year average. But here's the real impact. We're seeing buyer fatigue from those higher rates, which means showing activity has softened compared to previous years. People are moving more slowly and showing less urgency. And then there's a disconnect with seller expectations. Many sellers are still mentally stuck on 2021 prices when homes sold for 5 to 10% over asking, but that time is gone. The market has moved on, and even if some pricing hasn't. Now, one of the biggest shifts is what is happening with new construction. Builders are putting serious pressure on resale homes because they're offering huge incentives that resale sellers, they just can't match. We're talking about builder rate buy downs that are very strong right now. 5% interest rates, where resale interest rates are sitting between 6.25 and 6.5. About 2/3 of the builders are offering super strong incentives, with many of these rate buy downs costing the builders tens of thousands of dollars, and they're making huge price cuts all across the board. These incentives, believe it or not, are worth $20,000 to $40,000, even more. And here's the reality, resale sellers can't compete with that level of help. It's creating this interesting dynamic where homes that need updates are getting hit particularly hard because buyers don't want to finance renovations at 6 to 8% or higher when they actually could buy a move-in ready brand new home with a lower interest rate. What's fascinating is these pressures aren't hitting every part of our market the same way. Some areas are feeling it much more than others, and that's creating some really clear patterns. So Minneapolis condos and townhomes are definitely the softest segment right now, with a median price of around $320,000 as of late 2025. Downtown Minneapolis condos are sitting for more than 54 days on the market, far above the metro average. Downtown St. Paul condos have it even tougher, with 99 days on the market compared to the city average of 26 days. We're actually seeing many condo sellers who bought in 2018 through 2020 selling for, unfortunately, less money than they paid. And condition matters more than ever. Homes that look like they're from the 70s with avocado appliances and orange countertops, they're sitting for 50 to 60 days more. The middle price range from $500,000 to $800,000 is taking longer unless the home is fully move-in ready. Though what's interesting is that $600,000 to $800,000 group actually saw activity increase significantly from last year. November buyers in this segment, believe it or not, they're still active. In general, Minneapolis and St. Paul city limits are moving slower than the suburbs because they're prioritizing different things. And areas near new construction face the hardest competition because those builder incentives that we just recently talked about. But it's not all slowing down. Luxury homes over $1 million are actually seeing days on market drop 10% compared to last year. And move-in ready homes in popular suburbs still are selling in 14 to 23 days when they are priced correctly. So if you're a buyer looking at this market, you're probably wondering what this actually means for you. Well, for the first time since 2021, you're back in the driver's seat, but only if you know how to use this to your advantage. You're not just sitting in the back of the bus anymore. You can control more of your moves in this market. And great for buyers, concessions, they're coming back, baby. Closing cost credits, repair credits, home warranties, being able to actually do an inspection on the home, all things you can really ask for again, and more than likely you're going to get. Some smart sellers are even buying down the interest rate instead of cutting the price. And here's why that matters. A $15,000 rate buy down might get you more than a $30,000 drop in price. The strategy now is to target homes that have been on the market for 25 to 40 days, because that's when sellers start to get serious about making a deal and getting that property sold. And here's something critical. Compared to the monthly payment, not just the list price, that 5% builder rate versus that 6.5% resale market rate makes a huge difference in what you're actually paying on a monthly basis. New construction might look great with that attractive interest rate, but remember the hidden costs. There's no deck, there's no landscaping, there's no blinds, it might not have a sprinkler system, and those extras can easily cost $10,000 to $25,000 depending on the home. So factor that into your budget when you're looking to buy that new construction. To put this in perspective, the average mortgage payment in Minnesota, believe it or not, is $2,637 each month, which this is about $1,000 more than it was in 2021. Ouch. And mortgage applications go up 18% across the country when mortgage rates dip below 6.5%. So be ready to move fast when that happens. Getting pre-approved with more than one lender, because even a 0.25% rate difference can save you real money every month. Now, let's flip this around and talk about sellers, because if you're on that side of the transaction, the game has definitely significantly change. Pricing is absolutely critical and paramount now. There is no room to test the market with high dream prices anymore. The first 2 weeks decides 90% of the results because most serious buyers look at homes in days 1 through 14. Think about it. If you miss that window, you've lost your best shot at the most motivated buyers. Presentation matters more than ever too. Paint, light fixtures, carpet can get you a return of 100 to 300% on your money. And you need to be thinking about how to compete with those builders' incentives. Either pricing $20,000 to $40,000 below similar new construction or offering some kind of help to buy down their interest rate. Here's what happens when you overprice. You create a slow drop. Homes that are priced 5% above the market sit for 60 days more on average than their competition. In fact, in September 2025, days on market in the Twin Cities stretched into the mid-40s on average, and many Minneapolis listings sat on the market more than 90 days, need one or more price cuts. And once you lower the price, buyers can start to feel that you're getting desperate and send in lower offers. Here's the good news. Seller equity is sitting strong with a record $35.8 trillion across the country, and mortgaged homeowners hold about $17.1 trillion. So there's really no risk of cash because there's a lot of equity position in the housing market currently. So what smart sellers are doing is offering closing cost credit, rate buy downs, or home warranties to match what the builders are giving for incentives to buyers. Your home needs to be show ready from day one. Turning on the lights, playing soft music, and vacuuming before every showing. Unlike 2021, when you could just show up unprepared and still sell your house in a matter of hours and sometimes minutes. Now, you need to be dressed for success and bring your best. So what's the bigger picture here? Where is the Twin Cities market actually headed? Honestly, we don't really have a buyer market or a seller's market anymore. It's more of a market that's case by case now. Some homes still get more than one offer, while others sit for more than 60 days, even when they're in the same neighborhood. Builders are the big wild card here because they control supply and can change incentives every month based on demand. Rates control demand, and when rates drop, pending sales and showing activity tend to rise as buyers come back on even the modest rate relief, and equity controls supply. Many people with 2.5 to 3.5% mortgages from 2020 to 2022 won't move because it would cost them $500 to $1,000 more each month for the exact same house. So this creates a supply problem. If all those 3% mortgage holders listed tomorrow, inventory would skyrocket 40 to 60%. The new normal is slower, more planned, and more split, with a 40 to 48 day average days on market instead of those 20-day average days on market in 2021 at the peak. Performance changes a lot by price, type, location, and condition. One single trend doesn't actually explain the whole market. So looking ahead, rate expectations through early 2026 stay really around that 6 to 6.5%. And the National Association of Realtors says home sales could go up 14% if rates hit low sixes or lower. But the fundamentals keep this market safe and strong. Lending rules are strict, homeowner equity is super strong, and only 2% of sales currently are foreclosures or distressed properties. So there you have it. The Twin Cities market has shifted, and now success comes from strategy, not luck. Whether you're buying or selling, knowing these details put you ahead of 90% of the people making moves right now. And you know what? This split market creates chances that won't last. If you're ready to buy or sell in Minneapolis, St. Paul, or in the Twin Cities Metro in general, email us at team@hhgus.com today, and we'll walk you through the neighborhoods that have the best chances right now and show you how to set yourself up with a win in this market. Now, speaking of getting into the right neighborhood, our next video breaks down something very important. I ranked Minneapolis and St. Paul suburbs from good to better to best, and the results might surprise you. If you're trying to decide where to live around here, this ranking could save you from making a costly mistake. Click here to watch it, and we will see you at the next video and in the next house.